Audio Jungle.
Hello everyone. Have you brushed your teeth and combed your hair? Are you in your pajamas ready for bed? Are the curtains drawn and blankets tucked tight? Are you ready to sleep and say goodnight? But before you go into your dream ride, here is a story for you tonight. Tonight I have got you a story of Navratri. That's right, the 9-day celebration that we do every year. Our mammas and elders of our home keep a fast on that day. Why do they do that? And what is this celebration about? So today I'm going to tell you 9 different stories of 9 different goddesses we celebrate every day of Navratri. So I'm going to tell you this story from the book Navadurga, the 9 forms of the goddess, written by Nalini Ramchandran and illustrated by Priyanka Panchpande. On the very first day of Navratri, we worship to goddess Shailputri. Himavat, the king of the Himalayas, and his wife Mena wished to have Adi Shakti, the supreme goddess, as their daughter. They prayed sincerely to the goddess for years and years until Adi Shakti appeared before them and granted their wish. The couple soon had a baby girl. Since the Himalayan mountain range was her home, Himavat and Mena named her Shailputri. The little girl was also called Parvati because Parvat means mountain too. Years passed and the little girl grew up to be a fine lady. One day, when sage Narad visited the Himalayas, the king and the queen invited him to their palace. When Narad saw Shailputri, who was sitting on her favorite swing in the garden, the sage exclaimed, "Goddess Sati!" Shailputri was taken aback. She stopped swinging and walked towards Narad. Her parents too looked at each other confused. Himavat asked, "Sati, who? Why, I thought you knew. And have you forgotten that your daughter is an avatar of Adi Shakti?" Narad asked as he bowed to the princess. In her previous birth, Shailputri was the daughter of King Daksh and Queen Prashuti. Like you, they too had wanted Adi Shakti to be born as their daughter. She was named Sati in that life. "Did you know she married Shiva then?" he exclaimed. The great Lord Shiva?" Himavat replied in awe. "Yes, a perfect pair," said Narad, and he then turned to Shailputri. "Goddess, everyone in Devlok is waiting for you to marry Shiv in this life too." "But why?" Shailputri asked. "Because only a warrior son born to you and Shiva can defeat Tarka, the terrible Asur who gained power over Devlok several years ago. Everyone is terrified of him. Even the gods cannot defeat him without you." Narad sighed. "That sounds bad," Shailputri said. She wasn't sure if she would like Shiva in this life or not, but she really wanted to help the divine beings of Devlok. So she asked Narad slowly, "How? I mean, where can I find Shiva?" "Ever since you left Shiva in your previous life, he spends all his time meditating on Mount Kailas. If you marry him in this life too and build a family, Devlok will be freed from Tarka," said the sage. "But how will Shiva recognize me as Sati? And if he's busy meditating, how can I tell him who I am?" Shailputri asked. "Oh, that's simple," Narad smiled. "You must meditate too until he opens his eyes and sees you." Shailputri nodded. And how long will that take? A day or two? Narad laughed. It's not that simple. It could take 100 years or 1,000 or 100,000 years. Himawat and Mehna looked worried, but to their surprise, Shailputri said, I'm ready. She knew she would have to give up the cozy life of a princess, but she thought it was time for a challenging adventure. Now, how could she go there? So, Sage Narad said, why don't you ride on Nandi, the Vahan of Shiva, who knows his way around the mountains, so you won't get lost. So, the princess sat on Nandi and started her journey to the mountains. My God, that's something. Now, in every form of Durga, there is a message she gives us. In the form of Shailputri, she is trying to tell us, in the form of Shailputri, I live inside you as strength. If you are strong in body and mind, you can do new things and even have exciting adventures. Isn't that exciting? Now, on the second day of Navratri, we celebrate Ma Brahmacharini. We worship to Ma Brahmacharini on the second day of Navratri. After a long journey of winding through the mountains, Nandi and Shailputri reached Mount Kailas. That's where Shailputri saw Lord Shiva for the first time. He was very strange looking. He was sitting there very still, and he was wearing only tiger skin. There was ash smeared all over his body, and his hair was shabbily tied in half bun. The birds cooed loudly. They were flying all around his head. The insects were crawling all over his arms and legs. But Shiva sat still. Seeing this, Parvati was impressed. The more she looked, the more she was drawn to the power of meditation. He looked so calm. Without disturbing Shiva, Parvati found a spot a little away from Shiva and sat down for meditation. In the beginning, it was difficult. She would scratch here and there, she would stretch her legs, and then she would want to rest them. She would also doze off in between. Then the hunger tested her sorely. Her stomach which seemed to be having a mind of its own, growled every now and then. But Parvati continued to follow Narad's advice. Slowly, days turned into nights and nights into days. Weeks passed, even months and years too. And like this, 1,000 years went by. Of course, Parvati was alive. She was a goddess after all. Parvati realized that she will have to meditate really hard to get Shiva's attention. In next 3,000 years, storm tortured her, rains lashed at her, and the sun burnt her skin, turning it dark brown. But the goddess, like Shiva, continued to meditate. At last, one day, Shiva opened his eyes. Parvati had caught his attention through her deep meditation. Shiva knew how devoted she was, but he decided to give her a final test to see how much she loved him in this life. Disguised as a sage, Shiva approached her. Brahmacharini, you have wasted 5,000 years of your life for that Shiva, but he doesn't care about you at all. He does, Parvati said, slowly opening her eyes. Just as he is in my thoughts always, I am in his forever. But tell me, why would you want to marry a god who has no grand home, no family or riches? You won't be happy with him. Your life would be full of glitches. The sage tried again. If I had wanted a big house, fine clothes and good food, I wouldn't have had left my father's palace, Parvati answered. Shiva and I don't need riches. We are each other's happiness. The sage was very happy and he turned into his true form, Shiva. And he told Parvati, will you marry me? Will you be my wife again? And what do you think Parvati said? Of course she said yes. So, in the form of Brahmacharini, this goddess lives inside us as patience. This is what she's teaching us. If you keep working hard and honestly, you can achieve whatever you want. On the third day of Navratri, we celebrate and we worship Ma Chandraghanta. Now her story is very, very different too. After the long meditation, Shiv and Parvati are now going to get married. Okay, it was the day of Shiv and Parvati's wedding. The Apsaras and the Gandharvas, they were singing and dancing. Gandharvas are the musicians from the heaven. Apsaras are the divine dancers from the heaven. Everyone was very happy. Everyone was celebrating. Now Shiva comes with all his followers to the palace where Shailputri's Mama and Papa, the king and the queen, are living. When the queen saw Shiv, she was so frightened. She got so scared that she fainted. Hearing all that commotion, the princess ran out to her mama, and when she saw what made her mama scared, she was very upset. She came in her angry form and she turned into this dark skinned goddess with her third eye right at the center of her forehead, and on her head there was a moon shaped bell which went dong, dong, dong really loudly. The sound of the bell was so loud that all Shiv's followers put their hands on their ears and they said, "Oh my God, the sound is so loud. We just can't take it. We will probably die hearing this sound again and again." Shiva told Shailputri, "What is wrong with you? Why are you so upset?" So Shailputri said, "If you can look fearsome, so can I." "Oh," said Shiva, "I am so sorry. I didn't mean to scare your mother, but this is who I am." "I know that. But can't you wear a calmer look and dress appropriately just for today? It's our wedding day after all, remember?" Shiva agreed and turned himself to look like a well-dressed bridegroom. He changed his followers' appearance and attire too. "Is this good?" he asked her. "Oh, it's the best." Chandraghanta smiled and returned back to her Parvati form. "We can get married now." And they got happily married. In the form of Chandraghanta, the Ma tells us, "I live inside you as generosity. Sharing good things with others will win you new friends." Isn't this lovely? Isn't this amazing? On that note, I'm going to end this session and we are going to come back in part 2 of our story.